Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Tony Sandlaven.
And I'm Tatia Paradashvili. Thanks for joining us. Delaware County has the highest rate of children in poverty in the state. The YWCA of Muncie works solely to help women and their children. NewsLink's Kelsey Anderson talked with the YWCA to hear its action plan.
The YWCA of Muncie has been helping women and children since 1911. Development and Marketing Coordinator Carrie Weissel has been working for the YWCA since December.
I knew it was an issue that our community has just because of the work that I do, but I didn't know the extent to that.
The issue that Weissel is talking about is child poverty in Delaware County. And since 2011, this number has been rising. And now Delaware County is 11% above the state average.
Because I was reading the article that you're referring to on Monday as I was eating lunch. So, that's not something that makes you feel good when, I'm not worrying about my next meal.
In an Indiana Youth Institute video, President and CEO Tammy Silverman said 1/3 of Delaware County's children are in poverty.
We asked why. Some folks in that area thought that might be. Some of those experts told us the high-paying manufacturing jobs have been replaced by lower-paying post-recession jobs.
The numbers made Weissel rethink the way she is doing her job.
It really kind of changes my focus, which could be right or wrong, but to focus more on the people that are needing our help rather than, I think, a lot of marketers focus on how do you just bring in the money.
Research shows that children are in poverty because their parents can't get the resources they need. That's why the main focus of all the organizations in Delaware County is to connect the parents to those sources. In Muncie, Kelsey Anderson, NewsLink Indiana.
You can donate to the YWCA on its website, muncieywca.org.
House Republican leaders have postponed a vote on their health care bill. President Donald Trump has been lobbying House Republicans to vote in favor of the bill, including releasing a video on Twitter today.
You were given many, many false stories. The fact is you were given many lies. Go with our plan. It's going to be terrific. You're going to be very, very happy. Call your local representative, call your senator, let them know that you're behind our plan.
Now, despite his efforts, the legislation remains short of the necessary votes to pass. House Republicans are planning to meet tonight behind closed doors to discuss what the next steps will be. Meanwhile, Governor Eric Holcomb says he supports the GOP bill. This is somewhat at odds with Holcomb's earlier statements when he called on Congress to spare Medicaid funding. The current bill has Indiana set to lose almost $1 billion a year in estimated funding. However, Holcomb's office said he is sending a letter of support for the measure to House Speaker Paul Ryan.
A Chicago man is asking a judge to expunge his criminal record. Keith Cooper was convicted in 1996 for a robbery in Elkhart, Indiana, which involved a teenager being shot. Cooper was released from prison in 2006 and pardoned in February by Governor Eric Holcomb. His case gained national attention when former Governor Mike Pence declined the pardon during his campaign for vice president. Expungement of his case means his conviction would not show up on background checks. The leader of the group representing Indiana's power companies has publicly acknowledged that the growing popularity of solar energy does not currently pose a threat to utility profits. However, Indiana Energy Association President Mark Mussel said that lawmakers should move forward with a bill to give solar adopters an incentive. Republican Senator Brent Hirschman's bill will practice metering, which will allow solar panel owners to feed surplus energy to the grid for credit.
Well, we've had another week of varying weather conditions here in Indiana, and here at Ball State, it's Severe Weather Preparedness Week. On Tuesday, the tornado sirens were tested to remind students what to listen out for in such an emergency. NewsLink Indiana's Adam Chowdhury is live in the newsroom to tell us more. Adam?
Thanks, Tony. Even though we don't get too many cases of extreme weather in Muncie, Ball State makes sure that it's ready for any situation. In 2000, it set up the crisis management team, who deal with abnormal weather scenarios, amongst other things. Dr. Alan Hargrave is the chair of the team.
If a tornado is going to be a direct hit on you, there's not much you can do, right? I mean, it's an act of nature. The best thing you can do is for people to do the smart thing, is that you go to the area where you are safest, which is away from windows. Interior corridors are a great place on a lower level, but certainly get away from plate glass windows and don't go outside and gawk at the clouds.
When students first enroll at Ball State, they sign up for emergency text alerts, which warn people about severe weather conditions. Although students are content with this, some said that more could be done.
Could just have us explain what would actually happen if it did happen. I feel like a lot of times we just do it just because the drill asks us to do it.
You only get one training at the beginning of the year, then other than that, you have to hope you remember that kind of stuff. But
I think as long as there's just a sign on everybody's door so that they can read over it when they move in, I think that would be acceptable.
If you missed the emergency texts and emails this week, be sure to sign up as soon as possible. For more information, search Emergency Preparedness on the Ball State website. From the newsroom, Adam Chowdhury, NewsLink Indiana.
Since the turn of the century, Indiana has experienced 4 tornadoes in over 16 years.
Tony, we had such a great and warm day today.
Yeah, we definitely did. Certainly didn't have to worry about any severe weather today or really throughout this week. David Kahn is with us at the weather wall to tell us a little bit more about this upcoming weather. David?
That's right. It's been a really sunny day today. It's also been a little breezy, but as you can see from our live camera shot from the top of the Teachers College, it's a pretty beautiful day outside. Right now we have temperatures at 53 degrees with winds out of the south-southeast at 11 miles an hour. And coming up in weather, we'll have some more sunny skies tomorrow, plus an increased chance of rain over the weekend. Then I'll talk about how it's going to be warmer outside later on in your full weather forecast. But for now, we'll send it back to you at the news desk.
All right, thank you very much, David. We have new information on the man who pulled off the London terrorist attack. That story after our break.
And Keystone is back in the pipeline. Stick around to find out what's in its future.
Oh!
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I've just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. The attacker in yesterday's terrorist attack in London was identified today as 52-year-old Khalid Massoud. The deadliest attack London has seen in 12 years left 4 people dead, including Massoud, and dozens injured. Riley Carlson has the latest on the investigation.
This was an attack on free people everywhere.
Prime Minister Theresa May speaks to Parliament in session Thursday despite a deadly attack the day before.
Our resolve will never waver in the face of terrorism.
MPs observed a moment of silence for those killed and injured, as did Scotland Yard. London and the rest of the UK determined to carry on.
It's business as normal in London.
British security forces carried out raids across the UK overnight with multiple people arrested. Met Police identified the attacker as 52-year-old Khalid Massoud. He mowed over pedestrians in front of Parliament before crashing into a gate. The driver stabbed and killed an unarmed officer, 48-year-old Keith Palmer, before being shot and killed by police. Witnesses described the scene.
A black vehicle come at full speed
and it ran over a few people walking on the road, and you could see people flying on the sky with the impact of the vehicle.
And I looked over, and there were 2 or 3 people lying on the sidewalk. There was another group of 2 or 3 people in the same condition, and car parts on the road.
In London, I'm Riley Carlson reporting.
7 people from yesterday's attack remain in the hospital in critical condition.
The Trump administration is set to approve the Keystone XL pipeline project Monday, according to a senior U.S. official. The move reverses the Obama administration's decision to block the controversial oil pipeline and seals the deal on one of Donald Trump's campaign promises. The project will funnel oil from Canada to refineries on the Gulf Coast. Its approval follows years of debate over the pipeline and string opposition from local presidents and environmental groups.
It's day 4 of Senate hearings for Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch, and tensions seem to be on the rise. Today, Senate Democrats said they would filibuster Gorsuch's nomination, while Republicans threatened to use the so-called nuclear option to change Senate rules, which had Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer up in arms.
To my Republican friends who think that if Judge Gorsuch fails to reach 60 votes, we ought to change the rules, I say if this nominee cannot earn 60 votes, a bar met by each of President Obama's nominees and George Bush's last 2 nominees, the answer isn't to change the rules, it's to change the nominee.
If the Republicans do decide to use the nuclear option, Gorsuch would only need 51 votes to be confirmed. For now, 8 Democrats would have to vote in favor of him, and as of today, none have announced their support.
March is National Women's History Month. Ball State has been hosting Women's Awareness Week at the end of the month since 1985. Women's Gender Study program is excited to see more people get involved on campus. NewsLink's and Mary Toller has this story.
On Ball State's campus for Women's Week. With events taking place till Tuesday, the Ball State Women's Gender Study program has been hosting events to highlight gender-related issues across many fields and communities. Ashley Bingham, graduate assistant at Ball State for the Women's Gender Study program, has spent much of her time organizing this week's events. She talks about how they have been able to make this week a success.
Figuring out where the need is on campus and what we're not completely aware of, so what issues can we help with. A lot of that is some discovery and figuring out where on campus are the needs for certain things and how we can manage that. The other part of it is a lot of collaboration. We have a very vibrant campus here at Ball State, and that means we have a lot of people to work with. So we've been fortunate to work with the Multicultural Center, various academic programs, Make Life. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And it lends up to raising this women's group.
Jenny Schlutz, a junior at Ball State and part of the Women's Gender Studies 499 class, had to put together a capstone poster. The poster displayed their dream jobs and allowed them to see the women who work in those fields.
Where we might want to go into one day. So I interviewed a couple social workers at Open Door Health Services, and they told me about what they do on a daily basis.
Women's Awareness Week continues tomorrow from 12 to 2 on the 2nd floor of AJ with the Women's Resource Fair in Muncie. I'm Anne-Marie Toller, NewsLink, Indiana.
Women's Awareness Week continues with even through next Tuesday. It's been pretty chilly here in Muncie. After our break, we'll have your weekly weather forecast.
And later find out Ball State's newest construction plans and more. Stay tuned.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Tatia, today was gorgeous. We've had a couple of clouds the last few weeks, but today, sunshine, decent temperatures. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, it was so chilly and warm weather today. David, can you tell us what kind of weather do we have tomorrow?
Yes, you're right. It has been really sunny, but it's also been a little breezy today. But right now, as you can see from our radar, we have some partly cloudy skies right now. Pretty beautiful outside right now. We do have some precipitation coming in from Illinois, which could affect us later on tonight. Quick look at our almanac. We had a high of 53 degrees, which is 1 degree above our average of 52. Then we also had a low of 26 degrees, which is just under our average low of 33 degrees. In our forecast tonight, we'll have some mostly cloudy skies with a chance of some scattered showers with a low of 47 with winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And a look at our precision cast, we have some partly cloudy skies and some more clouds coming into Muncie later tonight. Then it'll clear up overnight with some more clouds coming in during your morning commute tomorrow morning. Then it'll stay cloudy for most of the day, and then we'll have some partly cloudy skies during your drive home from work tomorrow afternoon. Then we'll have some more increasing clouds on Friday night and into Saturday morning. Then if you're planning on going to Muncie Gras on Saturday night, you may want to pack an umbrella or bring a raincoat because it's going to be rainy over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. As you can see, we'll have a chance for some scattered showers around 1 o'clock on Sunday. Now, I mentioned it was pretty breezy today here in Muncie, and it's going to be windier tomorrow. We'll have winds out of the south at 19 miles per hour at around 6 o'clock tomorrow. Then a look at our 7-day forecast, we'll have some mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with a 10% chance of rain with a high of 70 degrees. Then again, you may want to bring some rain gear if you're going out to Muncie Gras this weekend. We will have some rain on Saturday and Sunday with highs in the upper 60s on Saturday and in the lower 60s on Sunday. Then on Monday, we'll have some more rain with highs in the upper 60s. Then it'll be mostly cloudy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with highs in the mid to upper 50s on Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the mid 60s on Thursday. So we're going to see a pretty big warm up this weekend and into next week, guys.
Well, good to see that warm up there in the next few days, but I'm disappointed about that rain on Saturday night. Are you guys planning to go to Muncie Gras?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, see, now that there's rain, I'm thinking maybe not, but I guess we'll find out. Thank you very much, David. Well, it's that time of year again, and Muncie Gras is coming up fast. We have more information for that after the break.
And find out which celebrity is back in the spotlight with their new reality show.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jesse Cordray, and I have your sports. Ball State men's baseball team is on the road after losing to Purdue University yesterday with a score 4-16. The men's baseball team returns to the field Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where they are set to play Kent State University. Friday's game will start at 3 o'clock, and Saturday and Sunday both will begin at 1 o'clock. In their home opener, the Lady Cardinals softball team won yesterday afternoon in their game against Butler University. The Lady Cardinals won 10-2. Ball State's Madison Lee hit 2 home runs in the contest, her first 2 home runs of the season. The Lady Cardinals are traveling to New York, where they will play at the University at Buffalo Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock and Saturday morning at 9. On Friday, Ball State men and women's tennis teams are headed to Western Michigan University. The women's team will start at 12 and the men's team will start at 1 o'clock. After their matches in Michigan, the Lady Cardinals tennis team will travel to Northern Illinois, where they will play the Northern Illinois Huskies starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. After the men's match in Michigan, the men's team travels to the University of Toledo, where they are set to play the Toledo Rockets. This match is scheduled to begin at 1 o'clock. Tonight, Ball State's men's volleyball team is in action against McKendree in Lebanon, Illinois. Tonight's matchup will begin at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, the men's Ball State volleyball team will travel to Ohio, where they will take on the Ohio State Buckeyes starting at 7. The new Earl Yestermeyer Golf Center is now under construction. This afternoon, Ball State University broke ground on the new 6,400 square foot facility that will house practice facilities for both men and women's golf. The project is named in honor of Earl Yestermeyer, a longtime golf coach at Ball State. The athletic department says it will keep Ball State competitive, which his family says will honor him.
I'm proud of it. He was a great man for this university. He loved this university, and the university, showing their love back to him.
It helps with recruiting, because now people can say we can practice year-round. We have a great place. We also have nice locker rooms. It just makes our golf programs more competitive in the MAC, and also when we recruit nationally.
The building will house 2 indoor hitting bays, a hitting simulator bay, a 2,200 square foot putting and chipping area, locker room facilities, as well as meeting and office space. It is expected that the construction will be completed in December, a very nice addition here to Ball State athletics.
Always good to see the athletic programs getting a chance to kind of improve their programs, both in talent and also with some facilities. Awesome, cool.
Absolutely.
Story.
It's a great story. The new Disney movie is raking in the big bucks. We'll look into that more after the break.
And everybody grab your beads and get ready for to tease, because Muncie Gras is back in town. That story is next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Brianna Bobbitt with your entertainment news. Muncie Gras, the biggest party of the year, will take place in the streets of downtown Muncie this coming Saturday. The event is open for those over 21 to eat, drink, and enjoy the live entertainment. Along with that will also be a first ever parade, which is open to people of all ages.
We're actually starting on campus, which is different for, most of the parades that we do start at the high school and they go around downtown, or like the homecoming parade starts down here and goes to campus. But I don't know that I've ever been involved in a parade that actually started on campus. So there's a parking lot on Riverside between Dix and Dill Street that they've used to stage some equipment and that kind of stuff. Ball State gave us permission to do our lineup there. So we'll start there at 4:30 and travel down Riverside and up to Reserve, sort of the back way into downtown. If you don't know how to get downtown that way, it's a good way to know. It's just sort of it's a quieter way to get in, I guess.
It will take place from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Tickets are $15 in advance and $20 at the gate. Lindsay Lohan is back and ready for a fresh start in Hollywood. After a difficult past, the 30-year-old says she isn't afraid to return to the Hollywood limelight. This week, the actress announced on Twitter that she is gearing up to launch her new prank reality TV series called The Anti-Social Network. The show will follow her as she causes mayhem on contestants' social media accounts for 24 hours and make them complete embarrassing challenges in order to win prizes. According to Entertainment Weekly, the Anti-Social Network is currently being shopped around to several networks. If the show gets picked up, it will mark a return for Lohan on the small screen. Disney's live-action remake of the 1991 animated film Beauty and the Beast made over $350 million this weekend at the worldwide box office. The total exceeded what people in the industry expected, and it broke the record for the biggest box office opening in March. The record had been held by last year's opening of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. It's also the best opening of the year so far. This record is good news for Disney since the movie had $160 million production budget. There will be a film screening held here at Ball State of the motion picture Addicted that was produced by alumnus Tom Bryan. The screening will be followed by a conversation with Rick and Kathy Fee, who will share their personal story of losing their son due to an Adderall overdose. So far, the film has won a number of film festival awards, including the Audience Choice Awards at Kansas City. The screening will take place March 30th at 6 o'clock in room 175 at the Arts and Journalism Building. For more details, contact the Miller College of Business. That's all for you, the entertainment news. Back to you at the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Brianna. David, let's get one final look at weather.
Sure, it's going to be cloudy this weekend with some rain showers coming in on Saturday and continue on from Sunday until Monday. So you may want to bring out the raincoat, but you may want to, looks like you can also put away the winter coat because it's going to be warmer this week and next week with temperatures as high as 70 and into the 60s and 50s early next week.
All right, thank you very much, David. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch Monday night right here on Cardinal Vision at 9 o'clock or online at ballstatedaily.com.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.